He iwi tahi tatu. Good afternoon and welcome to Waitangi, here in the northeast corner of the North Island of New Zealand. Today, February 6, 2013, we celebrate the 173rd anniversary of the signing of the Treaty of Waitangi in 1840. Our Maori tribal chieftain ancestors offered the hand of friendship and cooperation to the newly arriving Pakeha, the white man, but also defended our people and earned the respect and legislative rights and freedoms from these British colonists and their system of government. Although today we make up only 8% of the population of New Zealand, our people hold important and pivotal roles in the country's local and national governments. We would like to invite you now to adorn yourself with our traditional moko, or tattoo. Women traditionally confine the tattoo to their chin and mouth area, while men adorn their entire face and body. Inspiration for the moko has often come from natural patterns under the bark of the silver fern. And we invite you to check these out, and we also have pictures, and we will be glad to assist anyone. So come on up.
If you'd like to paint your own face, you can grab a crayon, paint your own face. If you'd like to have one of us do it for you, we're happy to do it for you. Or if you'd prefer to just stay out of it, you don't have to do it. It's up to you.
Ooh, sorry.
You guys all want to?
The women usually just have like something on the chin and the mouth area.
Which we won't actually paint your lips, just for sanitary reasons. But does
Can
anybody
you
want
do a
to?
design on my arm?
Mhm.
Sure.
Or can someone else?
Oh. So
You want?
often the
Sure.
patterns, these are naturally found
Here? Yeah. Wherever.
when you take the bark
You
off.
can like recreate whatever.
Use that as inspiration.
Really?
And like a filigree pattern, they said,
No kidding.
too.
So it's the growth, the pattern of the growth rings on different layers.
Yeah, that when you take the
Oh,
bark off,
really
that's
cool.
there. Isn't that cool?
That's very cool.
And that's
they-
natural.
And that's the natural color,
This
or
is
did
the
they
silver
take?
fern. This
No,
is what it
that's
looks
it.
like in its mature stage.
Is it as big as a tree?
Yeah.
It's hard to tell. Yeah, it is.
It's like a
Fern.
big, it's like a tree, it's a
Like a
fern, but
palm
it's the
tree.
size of a tree, yeah.
Okay.
Very
Height,
similar
4
to
to
a
10
palm tree.
meters. 4 to 10 meters
Cool,
high.
that's really tall.
Anybody else care for?
Are they washable?
They are.
Yes.
Yes.
You guys can do my chin if you like.
Ooh,
Okay.
exciting.
Washable
chin
face
picture.
paint.
They have a chin.
Chin too? Okay.
Can I have the inspiration?
Yes.
I want to feel inspired.
I think Marilyn said she wanted.
Yeah, somebody can do it.
Oh, Marilyn?
On my chin.
Can I get one on my arm?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's try to do
It doesn't
something like
work.
that.
You wanna hold on?
Yeah.
Great. Go for
Let's
it.
see, what colors do we have?
Anything, anything.
Sure.
I'm gonna hold your arm out. Okay. It's like you're giving blood.
There we go. Okay, thank you.
Similar.
Anybody else? You want one too? Yeah. You want one too?
Thank you.
Or you want on your arm? Yep, Marilyn, you wanted a face one?
Oh.
Well, you can do it, you can do it over or with it. if you wanna-
Oh, it's on there. Oh,
I
okay.
love
Let's
it.
make
Thank
little
you.
more bold.
It's like layers of, there you go.
Cool.
Oh, cool.
Filigree pattern.
Nice job. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Zoe, can I just get your arm? Very cool.
Another important part of our ceremony we would like to share with you is the haka, which haka is any kind of dance, but this is a welcoming dance called a haka pauhiri. And we are going to start it as a group and then come around after you see the pattern a few times, and would love you to join in as well. Sir Akarana Ngata. Grow up, O tender plant, to fulfill the needs of your generation, your hand to the technical skills and professions of the white man, the Pakeha, as a means for your advancement, your heart centered on your Maori culture for your inspiration. Wear it, a plume upon your head, and your soul dedicated to God, the author of all things. It is with these words that we move on in the ceremony to the most important part. I would like to introduce Sir Ngata's daughter, who is here to speak today. She is our learned elder, our Kumatua, who will recite one of our ancient Maori tales. Ladies and gentlemen, Hira Tatama.
The name of this legend is Maui Nooses the Sun. Maui went home to his village with the magic jawbone and lived with his brothers. To hold the jawbone gave him such a sense of power that it was easy for him to believe he was invincible. Why, sometimes he had the feeling that he could challenge the sun himself and come out the victor. Ah, the sun, how hateful he had become. Even now, as Maui watched, he was racing across the sky, a huge red ball of fire that scorched the leaves and dried up the lakes and streams. The days had become so short that the people never had time to till the fields or lay in supplies of food. Each day it was the same. The men would shoulder their tools and make their way to the fields, but they had scarcely begun the day's work before the sun had passed his zenith and was taking his downward path. Then, while they watched helplessly, he would rapidly sink in the west, plunging the world into darkness. They had once prayed to the gods for help, but help had never come. Then they had sunk into misery and despair and kept their eyes on the ground and never uttered a word. Maui noticed these things and was deeply troubled. It was then that he thought of a way to help mankind, but he could not act alone. He must persuade his brothers to help him. He found them laying in the shade, only their eyes moving as they watched the sun careering across the sky. My brothers, listen to me. The sun must be slowed down. If he continues at such a reckless pace, the villagers will all die. But Maui's brothers laughed. Little brother, what are you planning to do? I plan to teach him a lesson, said Maui, so that never again will he cause suffering by going so fast. Then his brothers scoffed at him. Take care, little brother. The sun will eat you up and afterwards spit the bones out. You laugh at me now, said Maui, but later on you will thank me. Despite themselves, his brothers were impressed. Their faces grew serious and they gathered around him, all talking at once.
But no one can go near the sun.
Its heat is too great.
You'll be cooked like cinders.
Give up this idea. It's crazy. It's madness.
It was now Maui's turn to laugh. I have never failed in my life, so why should I fail now? Have I ever been outwitted? Can I not change myself into a bird and back again into a man, while you, my brothers, must always remain in your present form? It is true, Maui, said the brothers, that you have done great deeds, but you have always counted on your tricks and magic spells for your success. What if they prove to be powerless against the sun? Enough, said Maui. You're wasting time. He raised his magic jawbone, and his brothers gazed at it in wonder.
This is my grandmother's jawbone.
And when I beat the sun with it, he will yell for mercy. What can we do to help us, the brothers? Well, first there are ropes to be plaited, said Maui. They have to hold back the sun, so they must be stronger than any ropes have ever been. Then the brothers set to work, determined to produce the ropes that were needed. Next morning, Maui and his brothers set off toward the east. They were weighed down by the rope, so they made slow progress. But they came at last one evening to the edge of the pit from where the sun was to rise. Nothing lived in that place. Everything had been blasted because of its closeness to the sun. This is the place, said Maui. Come, my brothers, before the sun appears, we have much work to do. The brothers set to work, and all around the pit they put in posts. Then they strung ropes across to form a giant web, and at the center, Maui placed a noose made from the strongest rope. They had just finished their net when the first rays of the sun appeared at the bottom of the pit. Now remember, said Maui urgently, do nothing to startle the sun. If you do, we have lost him. Just let him ease his head into the noose, then haul on the ropes as hard as you can. His brothers nodded assent, and then they waited. brighter and brighter as the sun rose up to the pit. Now his head appeared and gave off such a glare that the brothers covered their eyes. Slowly he rose until his shoulders were held by the net and his head was in the noose. He knew at once he was trapped and began to struggle desperately. Pull hard,
Pull hard, everyone!
shouted Maui, then seizing the magic jawbone, he leapt onto the sun and began to beat him.
Oh, Maui, let me go!
Bellowed the sun, but Maui went on beating him. I am a terrible fellow, Maui, I warn you. You'll be sorry if you don't let me go. But still Maui went on beating him. Maui, cried the sun, growing weaker, say what you want me to do and I shall do it, but please stop beating me. Very well, said Maui, but let that be a lesson to you. By your mad haste across the sky, you have made the days too short and caused much suffering. If you promise not to go so fast, we shall untie the ropes and let you go. The sun made a solemn promise and was allowed to go. As he limped painfully up to the sky, he called back, oh, Maui, I ache all over. What was the weapon that you beat me with?
It is my grandmother's jawbone.
Said Maui. I might have known it, groaned the sun. It has robbed me of half my power. It is well for you that it did, said Maui. Now men will look on you not as an enemy, but as a friend. And so it turned out the sun went slowly across the sky, and its rays were mild and beneficent. The villagers now had time to till their fields and do their chores. The earth became fruitful, and singing and laughter was heard again throughout the